So this is from a guy named SMac13, and the post is roleplay idea, easy to implement. During character creation, choose a backstory similar to Dungeons & Dragons or Baldur's Gate, and then have a few 5 or 6 unique emotes, phrases, or character animations that are only available to players with that backstory to help you define your character arc down the road when you select a subclass. What do you think of that idea?
I, of course, am an advocate for any type of role play stuff. Not a massive role player, but I love to add some elements of role play into my game. My issue with this might mirror the opinion of developers, because I think what people would be upset about, somebody might be upset about the fact that, oh, they chose that, but now I can't go back and change it. You can't go back and change your backstory. So now those emotes are not available for that person. So I could see some disparity there eventually. I personally think that that's not a big deal, but others might find that a problem. I love the idea though. I think it would be fantastic. I love the D&D style of being able to choose your backstory, or in the games that don't have that option available, like we've always kind of just gone and written backstories for our characters, as nerdy as it probably is. It's just awesome. I love that kind of stuff. More depth to your character, yes, A+.
JB?
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm on the same lines as Cash here, except for maybe we could make it just a couple tweaks to that idea. Instead of picking, and if I'm understanding this correctly, like certain emotes that are partial to the people who chose that backstory, why not open it up something more like 3 emotes that kind of define your character? That anyone can pick any 3, doesn't matter. But you pick 3 that really kind of represent your character for that backstory that you have written. I want to add to that, when they mouse over, maybe there could be a feature where they could, enable backstories on mouse over, so you could see just a little skosh of pop-up of a backstory that you've put together.
That's a better idea. Something like what was it, RP3? What was that?
Total RP3 in Warcraft?
Total RP3 in Warcraft is really cool because it allows other players that have that add-on to mouse over your name and see that you have a backstory that they could read if they want. So imagine something like that native to the systems of the game, where you could literally mouse over another player. And I would imagine there's going to be a lot of people that want to write a backstory for their characters in Vera. I really do. I think this is the crowd that would want to do that. Definitely a larger PvP crowd as well. So PvPers typically don't really like roleplay very much. I don't mean to back any type of player into a corner, but that seems to be the norm. But there will be a lot of people that actually want to do those kinds of things and add some depth to their character. So it'd be cool to be able to mouse over somebody's name and get more about that person, that character would be super cool.
They have this in a lot of games, right? Where you have to pick, I think that they had this in Guild Wars 2 specifically, where you picked a sort of like, did you come from the streets? Were you cast off from the circus? Where you had these other things like that. And then in Guild Wars 2, you actually had quests, or at least quest flavor that went along with that. So I think that this idea kind of stems from that. I love the idea of having an optional sort of role play section that says, do you want to write a backstory? Here's a few emotes you can pick from. You can't pick them all. You got to pick a couple that are real RP flavor type of emotes, right? Like not like teabagging or something like that, but I don't know, maybe something different like begging or something would be cool, panhandling or other things like that, that you could have a real addition to it. So it's a good idea. With a little bit of tweaking, I don't think you'd have people go super crazy. You put a timer, a cooldown on changing this stuff. You want to change it? Okay, fine, change it, but you can't change it back for 3 weeks, something like that. And people, I think, would really enjoy something like that. It's a good and simple idea to really encourage roleplay. And I think that anything that you can do to encourage role-playing in a role-playing game is right on the mark for me. I think that the movement in MMOs has swung in the past to just end game rating, gear score, etc. But now I feel like we might be pendulum swinging back a little bit to games that are games.